Hear, hear.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Here we have another unguided missile by those opposite, because the very first thing is describing a crisis they've very conveniently forgotten. It's a crisis that we had inherited as a consequence of their lack of action. They had 22 policies around energy. They landed not one, not a single one. 4 gigawatts leaving the grid, with only 1 gigawatt coming back online to the energy market. I mean, what an utter disgrace and the utter contempt you have for every Australian to be standing here today trying to point the finger at us for an energy affordability crisis. Those opposite understand the time it takes to land good policy. It took them 10 years and they didn't achieve anything. So let's look at exactly what we've already embarked upon. Because not only is it a case of understanding about the affordability of energy, it's understanding the market as a whole and the cost of living pressures generally being experienced by all households. And of course, we've done plenty on that front already, from tax cuts to cheaper medicines, more affordable childcare. We're working hard to look at the whole problem. But on the energy, we've worked to introduce the energy price relief rebate. But for those opposite who talk about their concern for households being able to afford their bill, what did they do when that bill was before the House? They voted against it because they actually don't care. They actually like the squeeze because it gives them some sort of weird and really quite uncomfortable relevance in this place to be able to argue about something. If they actually cared, they would have supported that rebate that went to 5 million households and some million small businesses for energy bill relief. But there's further. They talk about, well, actually what was quite ironic, they not once mentioned nuclear in terms of their own policy. They spoke about it, the last member for Hinkler spoke about it in terms of what we said. But it's very, very cute that not one person yet, and I hope the next member proves me wrong, is prepared to actually talk to their nuclear energy policy as a way of addressing energy affordability, because it's quite a joke. I mean, they're talking about how many, 4 or 5 potential reactors around the country. Even if we take the member for Hinkler's suggestion that our quotes that have come from not just the minister but through government agencies who've done the research with the scientists sitting behind them, even if it is not correct that they estimate of around the 364 million is accurate, even if we just take the UAE's around, $36 billion and we multiply that by 4 or 5, we're looking at $180 billion. I mean, that does not make for an affordable household bill. That's going to be 500% higher an energy household bill than what they're currently experiencing now. I mean, they're completely delusional if they're thinking that this is a way of addressing today's cost of living household prices, because instead we know that industry, businesses are completely committed to the transition to a renewable energy future. Already we are sitting at around 38% powering by renewable energy. Tasmania, case in point, the ACT, case in point. And we are inundated with industries talking to us to be able to speak to the appetite to be able to jump on board towards a renewable future. The Clean Energy Council, Boundless Earth, the Heavy Industry Low Carbon Transition Cooperative Research Centre, Beyond Zero Emissions, the Australian Hydrogen Council, the Future Batteries Industry, not the Fortescue Green Energy. There are so many people and sitting behind some fantastic industries, businesses, research centres that are already on board with this. And let's not forget that the Minister for Environment has already ticked off 45 approvals for renewable energy projects that will power 2.5 million homes. And then she's got another 128 projects in front of her. We talk about let's let the market decide. They are deciding, and this is exactly the direction that they see their future, that they see commerciality and that they see as a way of being able to have a win for consumers, a win for households and a win for their industry and business. And we're backing in that good judgment as well. And we're backing it in by setting in the right targets with our safeguard mechanism, with setting our ability to be actually able to enshrine targets that are meaningful, that companies can work towards, that send the signals that this is a country to invest in, because there is surety that this is the path that we're heading on. We're not backflipping and suddenly dropping what is the absolute sustainable future for this nation.